1st and it is Friday, and today we're going to move on with math. We did 2 days of classifying quadrilaterals and I see that we're finally understanding it, so we're able to move on. Activity 10 is introducing line symmetry, and today's objective is students will be able to identify lines of symmetry by cutting figures in half, and our DOL will be a lines of symmetry online assignment. So let's get started. Teacher Model 1. Which of the following is a line of symmetry? A line of symmetry is a line that goes across a figure, and if we were to fold along the dotted line in the figure, we would have the exact same thing on either side of the fold. Essentially, a line of symmetry cuts a figure perfectly in half. Looking at the answer choices, I see that all of them have a line that runs through them, but there must be exactly the same thing on each side of the line in order for it to be considered a line of symmetry. Imagine we could fold along this drawn line. Would there be matching parts on each side? The only figure that this would happen for here would be the triangle. There is exactly the same thing on each side of that fold. So the triangle, if we folded this triangle along that dotted line, both sides would meet up with each other perfectly. If you look at the other three options, they can't be lines of symmetry because if you fold on the dotted line, they do not match up. Both halves are not equal. Let's try another. Example 2, guided practice. Which two figures show a line of symmetry? Figures can have more than one line of symmetry. As long as a line can be folded upon to have matching parts on either side, it is considered a line of symmetry. In this example, we are being asked to find two lines of symmetry. Imagine folding along the dotted line of the first H. Would there be matching parts on either side of this? Of course. So this would be a line of symmetry. If you were to fold on that dotted line in the first H, both halves are the exact same. Okay. Look at the remaining three choices. Imagine folding along each of these lines. Which choice appears to show a second line of symmetry? Well, I know the second one can't be an option because the top doesn't match the bottom. It must be the third choice. If I were to fold the H along the dotted line, both halves would be equal. Example 3, teacher model. Draw the line of symmetry. Now we are going to draw a line of symmetry. Our lines might not be perfect, but they should be very close. Drawing a line of symmetry means we are drawing a line that cuts the image into two matching parts. For this shape, I could draw a line right down the middle to create two matching parts. So remember, it's not going to be perfect, especially because I'm on my computer. But if I fold along that line, both halves will be equal. They'll meet up with each other. If I could fold along this line, I would have two identical parts. Now remember, there could be more than one way to show a line of symmetry. And I will show you how to do this with the same figure. So I can draw a line vertically and I could draw a line horizontally, the best that I can, and I'm going really slow. All right, so if I fold along that line, I can create two matching parts within that figure. There's also a third way, and I'm sure a lot of you at home are thinking of the third way already. You're one step ahead of me. You can also cut this figure diagonally in half, just like that. And if we were to fold along that line, both halves would match up perfectly. And obviously you can do the other diagonal, and I'll just show you really quickly. You could do that diagonal, or you can do diagonal. Okay, so this figure has 4 lines of symmetry. There are 4 ways that we could fold this so there are matching parts on either side of the fold. Example 4, guided practice. Draw the line of symmetry. Well, what are we being asked to do here? We are being asked to draw a line so that there are matching parts on either side. Where should we draw that line for this image? We can draw a line vertically through the center of the letter, and this would create matching parts on either side. So I can cut the A in half vertically and imagine folding that A in half. That would be the line of symmetry because either side would match up with each other. So for this figure, there is only one line of symmetry. We cannot cut it up any other way. Okay, example 5, guided practice. Draw the line of symmetry. Many shapes and figures do have lines of symmetry, but some do not. This triangle does not have a line of symmetry. There is no way we could fold this to have matching parts on either side of the fold. So no matter what we do to cut up this type of figure, it cannot be cut in half. See, this side is too small and this side would be too big. There's just no possible way. So I'm going to erase that so we don't get confused. So not every single shape you see in the world will have a line of symmetry, and that's okay. Your independent work today is the lines of symmetry online assignment. You need to identify the line of symmetry and explain why it is or is not a line of symmetry. I hope everyone has a great Friday and a fantastic weekend.